What have you been doing since the last fight? Kind of going back to the drawing board. What did you take out of the last fight?
Yeah, right after my last fight, I fought on Saturday and I started training on Monday. So, I just wanted to get right back in there and fight. I felt like I didn't even hardly fight, honestly. It was just a very frustrating fight. And, I've been working on my wrestling a lot, been working on everything. But, definitely this fight, if I get taken down, I want to get right back up. And to begin with, I don't even want to get taken down.
Right.
Was
that one of those where he took advantage of his skills, or I don't know? It kind of looked to me like you were a little more willing than you should have been to go to the back or go to the ground and work off your back.
Exactly. I basically thought that if I got taken down, I was going to submit him anyway, so I didn't even care if I got taken down. I didn't even really try to defend the takedown, So, he's a good wrestler, but, I didn't even defend the takedown because I felt like he's doing me a favor if he took me down because I felt like I was going to submit him, but I obviously didn't.
Yeah, well, he's a good wrestler, Kurt Pellegrino, and he's a guy who works the position well and did a good job at least in scoring points in terms of getting the victory. So how is Tibau different? Obviously, he's a submission guy. He wants to get you to the ground. Better wrestler, worse wrestler, different technique. How is he different?
Honestly, they're basically the same fighter. I think the big difference in this fight is I'm going to defend the takedown, which I didn't my last fight. And if I do get taken down, I'm going to try to submit him, but if I can't do it, I'm going to just try to get right back up. My last fight, I got... I was going for the submission, I wasn't really trying to get back up. I was going to submit him and finish the fight. So I think that they're a lot of different, they're a lot the same. And, I think it's a test for me to kind of see if I can beat, the wrestler that wants to be on top of you.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of the division right now? Obviously, you got a championship fight coming up in basically 6 weeks with Diego Sanchez and BJ Penn, but it kind of seems like the pecking order beyond that is a little unsettled. Is there like another group of say 4 guys who's say above where you are if you're like in the 8 to 12 range? Do you look at certain guys as the next group of guys who should challenge BJ?
I definitely think that there is, probably 4 guys. Maynard, Frank Edgar.
Maybe Tyson Griffin, and I'd say those 3, and then the rest of us are behind those guys. But I think there's a lot of guys that could beat those 3 guys too.
I think the division is so even. So there's so many good guys at 155.
All right, I want to get into a couple of personal things if you're cool with it. You obviously had an incident a while back. What were you thinking at the time right after? Not obviously you're drinking, so you're not thinking. But what were you thinking right afterwards in terms of your future with the UFC? Because they're a little unpredictable in terms of, hey, we're going to stick with the guy or we're going to get rid of the guy. Were you in fear for the next couple of days? Like, holy crap, did I just blow it?
I was a little bit nervous and I thought about it a little bit, but no one was hurt, and I really didn't know. And to be honest, if they would have cut me, I would have fought somewhere else. So, yeah. I'm a fighter first and foremost, So
would you have been bitter or mad if they had gotten rid of you? Or
no, that would have been their decision. I would have had to live with it and moved on.
Yeah. And the reason I bring it up is, I'm in Vegas and we deal a lot with Junie Browning, and Junie's obviously not the fighter that you are, or say like a Rampage is. Doesn't have that kind of experience, but in a way I kind of feel bad for the guy because from Junie's standpoint, my belief is that the UFC is kind of actually hurting the guy by getting rid of him because I think he loses some of the structure of being involved in a high-level fight promotion. For you, is it the same thing? If you didn't have fighting, are there that many more demons in terms of free time that you may screw up yourself?
Definitely. If I did get cut, or one of the bigger organizations wouldn't let me fight, I'd definitely have a lot of free time to mess up.
Which is not which is not a good thing.
But I think that Junie's been given a lot of chances. This was my first thing that's happened to me. He's had numerous things that he's did. Mm-hmm. That wasn't right, I think it was just time and time again that that it happened. So that's probably why they cut him.